Greetings. And nothing says happy holidays like a good expose. So here's what happened. A year ago, I walked out on my job, and this is why. So I was working as a manager at Walgreens, and I saw an. Have you not heard this story before? I saw an ad on Facebook for a State Farm office that was looking for toys for them to donate for Christmas. And because I'm a hoarder, I had bought hella shit from my store because it was on clearance. And I was like, oh, this is a good deal. I can use this. For what? I don't know. So I had a room, literally a room full of toys in my apartment. So I messaged the page and I was like, hey, when can I bring these by? So I packed everything up in a suitcase and brought it over to the office. And, I guess she's not interested anymore. That's fine. But I went over to the office and donated the stuff. And then I talked to the agent that owned the office, and I was like, hey, are you hiring? I mean, I wasn't necessarily looking for a job, and I thought, why not? I could probably do this. So we talked for a while. He was like, the fact that you walked in off the street and asked me for a job, I like that, blah, blah, blah. So I went and did the testing to sell insurance in the state of Illinois, which was probably the most stressful thing I've ever done. I fucking hated it. I do not like tests. I had not taken a test in years, and this was 4 huge tests. It took me forever, but I eventually passed all 4 of them. Quit Walgreens. Gave my 2 weeks, respectable and everything. And I started at State Farm. So I'm thinking, okay, this will be a great, career opportunity. I'm good with people. I can sell things well. I can finally, really get out there. So mind you, I asked for a certain amount. I won't say how much because that's tacky to talk about money. But I asked for a certain amount, and he was like, oh, no, I can't do that. And he offered me $14,000 less than what I asked for. But I was like, you know what? That's fine. It's salary and then commission on top of that. So, I'll go ahead and take it. I mean, it was more than it was about what I was making plus commission. So I was like, okay. I mean, yes, that's a big leap to be like, I should make this much, but I felt like I should. Another job I had applied for around that time, but didn't get. I never got an interview, actually, but I had applied twice, and I asked for what they were going to give. So I was like, okay, I feel like I should make that. Because I could do this job even though I didn't get the interview. But I was like, whatever, fine. At least I'm not going to be working crazy hours, getting cussed out, blah, blah, blah. So it was okay. He had an interesting training style, which I didn't really care for. It was very, aggressive and in your face. But I was like, you know what, it's fine. At least I'm learning something new. So my issue wasn't so much with him. It was with the people that he had in his office. So there's Desiree, who's a Trump-loving Mexican. I don't know if she thinks that she's white or what. There's Veronica, who is Puerto Rican, but engaged to a black guy, who she referred to as Chocolate Giant. Not problematic at all. And then there was Michelle, who was undocumented. This will come up later. That's why I'm mentioning it. But she was also Mexican. So there was another guy that worked there. He was cool, but he was about to leave 2 weeks later. So he was kind of training me to take his place. Mind you, after he left, he was there 2 years. None of them ever heard anything from him again. They were like, oh, how come he doesn't text us or try to hang out anymore? I soon learned why. So I'm a fun guy. I like to, have a good time. But if I don't know you like that, I'm not going to be all up in your face, especially in a work environment, in an office. I'm here to do my job. I'm not here to kiki with you. So they like to talk all day, and they kept trying to get me to chime in. I didn't really have anything to say. I would just, make a little comment here and there, but I didn't have anything to say. It wasn't because, oh, I hate y'all, I'm a bitch. It's just, I had nothing to say. And a lot of times what they were saying was super fucking offensive. So Desiree would refer to our customers as thugs. The black ones were thugs. The Middle Eastern ones were terrorists. Even though I guess she thought it was okay because she was engaged to a guy that I think was Syrian. And then the Hispanic customers, she didn't like it. They didn't speak English. She's like, this is America. You need to speak English. I mean, she voted for Trump. So she had also said something to Michelle before about getting her deported because of the fact that she was undocumented. She was going to send her back to Mexico. So there was like always drama between everybody. And one specific incident, well, Michelle used to say nigga all the fucking time. She'd be like, nigga, nigga. And I didn't want to make a big deal. Like, I felt uncomfortable, but eventually I was like, do you mind? Like, I'm the only black person in this office. My boss was Asian. I was like, can you not say that? She was like, oh, I'm so sorry, my bad, blah, blah, blah. Then Veronica got in my face. I wasn't even talking to her. I was talking to Michelle. And Veronica got in my face and was like, what's the big deal? Why can't she say it? Blah, 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 blah. Who the fuck asked you? Well, because you're dating a black guy. Yes, she was Puerto Rican, but she was a white passing Puerto Rican. She was pale as fuck. So it's not like she could, identify as black or whatever. But nobody was even fucking talking to her. I was talking to Michelle. And she got in my face about that and, literally, was yelling at me. And I said something back. I was like, well, it doesn't matter because I'm black and I don't want to hear that. I should have to hear that at work at that, in an office setting at that. So Michelle would slip a lot and be like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, is it that ingrained in your vocabulary? Even if we were all black, we're at work. Why is everything nigga, 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 nigga? Like, I'm not saying it, and I'm the black one. So what makes you think you can say it? And I'm thinking, okay, does Veronica think because she's getting dicked down by a black guy that makes it okay? Like, he had 3 or 4 kids that were her stepkids. And I'm thinking, does their mother know that she says that she's okay with this? Like, does she call them little niggas at home? Like, what the fuck? So Desiree would always talk shit to me about them. They would talk shit to me about Desiree. And it was just very uncomfortable. And I really didn't engage. And they felt like they had told my boss that they didn't feel comfortable. They're they can't joke around or say anything around me because I'll get offended. And he told me that I was sensitive and that, they like to joke around a lot. Like, when he hired me, and like Maya Angelou says, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And he had said in the interview or whatever, oh, we like to clown on each other a lot. Nobody takes it offensive, clown on each other's races and, oh, I'm Asian, this and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. That's what y'all like to do. That's cute, whatever. But that's not what I do. That's not my cup of fucking tea. So I didn't appreciate him telling me that I was sensitive because I'm offended by them being fucking racist. That's called gaslighting. And then he kind of got in my face. And he had brought us in there, I guess, because tensions were high. And I was saying something. He was like, just shut the fuck up. Who the fuck are you talking to? Talking about some shut the fuck up. Now, I don't know if he thought this was some indentured servitude or whatever because he, hired me off the street and he had paid for some of my tests or whatever. So he felt like that I owed him. I don't know what the fuck it was. But I didn't like that shit. And I was like, you know what? This ain't working for me, but what the fuck am I going to do? I left my other job, so I'm just going to try to stick it out, and I fucking hate it. I hated going to work. I hated being at work. Only time I liked was when I was fucking leaving. I hated the commute. The pay was decent, but just the environment was so fucking toxic that I hated being there. I was just sitting there cringing at all the outrageous things they would say and act like it was okay. And they would make gay remarks. She said something to me. Veronica said something about me having a boyfriend or something. I was like, how do you know I don't have a girlfriend? And she was like, you don't like boys. You don't know what the fuck I like. You don't fucking know me to be saying that shit to me. I don't know why they felt so fucking comfortable to just say whatever the hell they wanted. And me being offended, I'm sensitive. No, you're just a bunch of bitches that don't know how to fucking act. And just because she's been working there for 10 fucking years, and this is the only job she's had, I guess she thinks it's okay. But when she gets her ass out there in the real world and gets another job, she can't be talking like that. And I guess Desiree thought because, she's, making a lot of sales that she can say whatever the fuck she wants. But I was the number 2, and I don't know, maybe she felt threatened because I was brand new to this and doing well, and she's been doing it for years. But that shit was blowing the fuck out of me. They were all a bunch of fucking assholes. Racist assholes at that. And I just couldn't deal. So eventually I started talking to them a little more just so they'll leave me alone, which doesn't make sense, but I had to engage with them more for them to stop fucking asking me a million questions and trying to talk to me. And I did that, kind of for my boss, because he was like, well, just talk to them more because, they feel like they can't joke around, blah, blah, blah. Why? First of all, we're not here to joke around. And second of all, why does joking around have to be some offensive ass shit? Do they not know anything about sensitivity training, workplace, professionalism, or what's just not acceptable in society. Like I don't know if they're all just immature or what. Desiree's like 50, so she should know better. But it just got out of control. Then I got one of my former coworkers hired there, so that helped a little bit to have a little bit of a buffer. But she didn't really engage with that shit, and she knew they were fucking nuts. So this is getting kind of long, so we'll get to the meat and taters. I started in February, and the last day that I worked was the Monday after Thanksgiving of last year. And it was a lot of things that just happened to work out a certain way, which is why I feel like I was destined to leave that fucking job. So I always drove to work, but that day it snowed really bad and there was no parking. So I was like, I'm not about to dig my car out, drive it over there, dig out a spot, dig it out again, come back here, dig out another spot. So I just took the train and the bus to work, which I did like one other time in the 9 months that I worked there. And then also I used to always close every, I think Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. Either way, I closed every Monday. And then Michelle was going to close with me because her car didn't start the day before or the Friday before. So she was late to work and she wanted to make up her hours. And for some reason, my boss was just like, hey, do you guys want to go home early? Somebody can go home early today. Somebody can go home early tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know why. I guess he was just feeling generous. So we needed to respond to his group text because he wasn't in the office. And I guess whoever responded first, the first two people, they were going to get to go home early that day. So I responded like second. And then Desiree came over there. She was like, no, I'm leaving today. I was like, well, if you look, I'm the first one. And she came marching over there. I don't care what you saw. This is what my phone says, and I'm going home. And just like, again, got in my face. Like, I don't know what kind of fucking workplace these people are used to, but fucking inappropriate. So at that point, I had it with these bitches. So I was like, first of all, y'all think you can say whatever the hell you want to me. I don't know if I said hell. But you can't. You can't say whatever you want to me. It doesn't work like that. I'm going home. And if you don't like it, too bad. Because I was the first one. She was like, nope, I don't think so. Blah, blah, blah. And she just kept on going and going. So I was like, okay, cool. There was a Starbucks like a couple blocks away. I was like, I'm going to go to Starbucks real quick. And I took my black ass home. Because we were going to leave later. But at this point, I'd only been there like 2 hours or something. And I just fucking went home. Starbucks. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, I just can't take it anymore. I cannot deal with these people. And I was over it. I turned my phone off. I didn't respond to anything the rest of the day. Then my boss called me that night once I had turned my phone back on. He was like, you can't just walk out like that. I could fire you for that. I was like, oh, but you can't fire her for getting up in my face. And he's like, well, that's he said, she said. I'm like, it don't matter. He said, she said. She got up in my face. This is not the first time I've had an issue with these people. And frankly, I don't know if I want to come back because I can't work like this. And he's like, well, what are you saying? I was like, I don't know. I want to think about it. It's like, maybe I can stay for a little longer. Maybe we can do something. But I was like, I need you to guarantee that this isn't going to happen again because this kind of behavior continues to happen. And he's like, well, I can't guarantee anything. I was like, well, then I guess I don't need to work there anymore. How are you the boss? It's your fucking office. Your name is on the fucking door. And you can't guarantee that they're not going to get in my fucking face. And this was, like I said, not the first time. And I was like, you know what, that's fine. I don't have to work there anymore. And I came back in a few days later, after everybody left, cleaned my fucking desk out, and deuced the fuck out. And we talked, and he was like, I'm sorry it didn't work out, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, look, you're not a bad boss, but you need to get a control of your team because they think they can do and say whatever they want. It's a toxic environment. That's why there's such a high turnover. People are running in and out of here because nobody wants to deal with that. And it's not acceptable. It's not okay. And that was it. So I didn't have any plan, no backup. I got rent, bills, things like that. And I'm thinking, okay, what the fuck am I about to do? Because I ain't going back there. But I didn't know what I was going to do. I like the song says, I gave it over to Jesus. I stopped worrying about it. And long story short, that was the day after Thanksgiving. And by like December 15th, I had 2 job offers. One job interview I went to, while I was there, they said, will you do a second interview? And they offered me a job right there. And I was like, let me get back to you. I had like 4 or 5 interviews at that time. And I had another job I was waiting to hear back from. And then when they said yes, I didn't take that other job. But that's where I work now. And it is so much better. It is like a complete 360. Like, work is actually fun. A lot of people have compared it, and I agree, to like being at college because we're all just hanging out all the time. I mean, we do work, but it's a lot of, it's not hard. It's not stressful. I don't hate going to work. I don't hate being there. Like the day just flies by. I won't go so far as to say I love it because to say you love a job is a bit much, but I really like it. And, everybody's cool. They're very professional. They, not they're professional in the way that the things that were said to me at that other job wouldn't be said here. Now, we ignorant as fuck over there, but we're not inappropriate. Like, nobody is saying some racist ass shit. Like, we have a lot of guidelines for that type of shit to where, that's just not even acceptable. Like, they're very big on pronouns and that type of stuff, so that would never fucking fly over here, which I appreciate. And it's just fucking cool. And I don't have to deal with that shit. I can work from home. We get free catered food every day. We have a bar. We have free snacks, free drinks. I don't have to drive. I literally walk like 2 blocks and take the train and it goes into the fucking building. Like, and they pay for that too. They pay for the fucking train passes, bitch. So this is just so much fucking better. We have a lot of overtime, which you also can do at home. Like, so much better. So much better. And the best part of all is that I'm about to be making more than what I asked for at that other job once we get our little merit increase. So he want to fucking tell me, oh, no, I could never pay you that. No, never. Oh, well, bitch, I'm fucking making it now. How about that? How about those fucking apples? And because I'm making more money, I have a larger apartment, got a new car. I mean, just to say that, I wasn't meant to stay there. And by leaving there, I was able to do more things in life and experience more and just have a better opportunity. I don't fucking hate my coworkers. We actually get along and talk. So it's just so much fucking better. And I'm not going to tell everybody, just walk out on your fucking job because everybody can't do that shit. I understand that. I was lucky or blessed, some might say, to be able to do that because I saved my money because I had actually been fired a few years ago from another job. And the reason that I recognized, that made me look at this ad that he had for Christmas gifts is because I recognized his name. It's very uncommon, which is why I'm not going to use it because he was over them, so he should have had a better hold on them, but he wasn't the one that was really doing the fucking most. But that made me notice the ad, and I remember that he was one of my old boss's clients when I worked at the mortgage company. And when he hired me, I told him, yeah, I used to work for him, and he fired me, and he was going on about what an asshole that guy was anyway, only for him to then turn around and have a toxic-ass work environment himself. But anyway, after that, I started like making sure I had my coins together because I was like, shit, anybody could fire you at any time and you need to be prepared to be out of a job for a little bit. And after I got fired from that job, it was really rough. I was working part-time at fucking Home Depot, like struggling paycheck to paycheck. I had a roommate. Ugh, the horror. I was living in the ghetto. Ugh, the horror. It was rough. But look at me now. That's why you have to just, trust your gut because things happen for a fucking reason. And if I had just sucked it up and let them talk to me like that, I'd still be over there now dealing with them fucking bitches. And that's not good for anybody. Who wants to have a job that you hate and that's stressing you out? Nobody wants that. So if you don't have kids or something like that, you got little coins saved away, just step out on faith because it worked out for me. So, maybe it'll work for you. And the funny thing is, I'd applied to this job 2 times before and couldn't get an interview. And I finally got an interview. And I knew if I could just get an interview, that I could fucking get the job. So, amen. But yes, that's a story of why I walked out of my job. Fuck those bitches I used to work with. Yeah. Happy holidays. From all of us here at Barrett TV. Right, Angela? Angela. That's the way I feel it should be. You and me.